What if I told you that the love inside you is not just an emotion, not just a fleeting rush of chemistry, not just a reaction to life circumstances, but a sacred assignment? What if your heart is not an accident of biology, but a divine blueprint carefully written in heaven before you even drew your first breath? Chosen one, pause with me for a moment. Because if you have ever felt out of place in the way you love, if you have ever wondered why your heart beats differently from others, why your depth feels like a burden in a shallow world, then this message is for you. And I need you to lean in and stay with me until the very end, because what you are about to receive is not just information, it is activation. Think about the world around you. Everywhere you look, love has been reduced to a performance, fast, shallow, transactional. People hide behind masks, exchange half-truths, and call it connection. And yet, in the middle of this noise, there you are, loving differently. You've tried to adapt, tried to shrink your intensity to match the pace of the crowd, but every time you did, you felt the ache of not belonging. Because you were never meant to love like everyone else. You were chosen to carry something eternal. Maybe you've been told that you care too much. Maybe your compassion has been called a weakness. Maybe you've poured yourself out for people who gave you nothing in return, and you've asked yourself, why am I like this? Why can't I just turn it off and be like everyone else? But hear me clearly. This is not a flaw. This is not a mistake. This is your divine design. Heaven encoded your heart to see what others overlook, to value what others discard, to build where others abandon. And that is why you are listening right now. You did not stumble upon these words by chance. You were led here. Your soul was drawn to this moment because heaven is pulling back the veil to remind you of who you are and why you were made this way. You are not here to blend in. You are here to awaken what is sleeping in others. You are not here to simply feel love. You are here to release love that heals, restores, and builds foundations that cannot be shaken. But let me also touch the wound, because I know you feel it. There is a deep pain that comes with carrying this kind of love. You've been misunderstood, taken for granted, even betrayed. You've given your best only to be left empty. You've looked around and wondered why no one else seems to carry this weight. Why your loyalty feels unreturned. Why your tenderness seems to cost you more than it rewards you. And maybe, just maybe, you've even been tempted to harden your heart, to shut it down, to protect yourself by becoming less. But listen, the very thing the world calls too much is the exact reason heaven calls you chosen. You were set apart to love differently because this generation desperately needs a love that doesn't fade when the feelings do, a love that doesn't abandon when storms come, a love that reflects the eternal. So here is what I want you to do right now as a prophetic act of agreement. Leave a comment with the number 99, because in the spirit, 99 represents leaving the crowd to follow the one. It means you've been set apart, called higher, and heaven is confirming that truth over your life today. And while you're here, if this resonates with you, if you can feel the fire of recognition stirring inside, subscribe to this channel right now. Not just as a click, but as a declaration. I choose to walk in alignment with my true design. Because in the minutes ahead, we are going to uncover the blueprint of your soul. And once you see it, you will never again view yourself or the way you love the same way. This is not just a message. This is an awakening, and you are right on time. Chosen one, let me take you into the very mystery of your being. Long before you ever breathed your first breath, long before your eyes opened to the light of this world, heaven had already written its blueprint into you. And at the center of that design was not talent, not status, not skill, but love. Not the shallow, conditional love that flickers in and out with circumstances, but a love so ancient, so unshakable, that it carries the fingerprints of eternity itself. This is why you are different. This is why you cannot explain the depth of your feelings, why you notice details others ignore, why you sense burdens others cannot feel. Your heart was crafted as a sacred vessel, a channel through which heaven's compassion flows into a world desperate for authenticity. When you love, you are not simply offering comfort, you are transmitting eternity. Have you ever noticed how your heart responds to pain in others? Where someone else might walk away, dismiss, or criticize, something in you leans closer. You can look at someone who seems broken beyond repair and still see a glimmer of worth inside them. You see hidden gold under the rubble. You sense a pulse of possibility where others see only failure. And once you see it, you cannot pretend it is not there. That is not sentimentality. It is spiritual vision. It is heaven's blueprint activated within you. Think about this. Many people love because they want something back. They love when it is convenient, when it makes them feel good, when it feeds their ego. But your love does not operate that way. Even when it hurts, even when it costs, even when it seems invisible, you cannot stop pouring. And though you sometimes resent yourself for it, deep down you know, it is who you are. It is who you were made to be. This is what separates you. Your love is not a reaction to circumstances. It is an assignment. It was written into your soul before you ever walked this earth. That is why you often feel like you don't belong in the world's definition of love. Because you were never meant to. Your heart is not a copy of culture's pattern. It is a reflection of heaven's architecture. Your design is not fragile. It is strategic. When you look into someone's eyes and see beyond the surface, when you comfort someone others have forgotten, when you lift a person who has no way of paying you back, you are stepping into your assignment. And whether you realize it or not, atmospheres shift when you do this. People feel lighter, calmer, more alive around you, even if they cannot explain why. It is because they are not only encountering you, they are brushing against eternity flowing through you. But here's the challenge. Because your design is uncommon, it is often misunderstood. People may label you as too much, too sensitive, too emotional, too forgiving, too loyal. And after hearing it enough times, you may start to wonder if they're right. You may even question yourself. Why do I keep giving? Why do I still care when it hurts? Why can't I be more like them, detached, distant, guarded? Chosen one, here. Me, clearly, those questions are not proof of weakness. They are proof of calling. You cannot love differently because you were not designed to. Heaven set you apart to reveal a quality of love that cannot be faked, bought, or diminished. You are not here to copy the crowd. You are here to confront the emptiness of this world with something eternal. And yes, there is a cost to this design. To carry such a heart, you have had to endure fires most people would not survive. Every betrayal, every abandonment, every season of loneliness carved more space inside your soul. While others saw you breaking, heaven was building you. Pain was chiseling away what was shallow, stripping you of illusions, and leaving only what could endure. Your scars are not evidence of failure. They are proof of refinement. Each one marks the exact places where God entered your fire and kept you from being consumed. That is why you can now discern things others miss. That is why you can feel wounds beneath smiles, sense despair behind laughter, and recognize potential hidden under years of defeat. You learned this not through comfort, but through your own crucible. Your ability to love the way you do was not born in ease, it was forged in fire. And here lies the paradox. Though the world has wounded you, it has not managed to corrupt you. Though your heart has been broken, it has not stopped beating with mercy. Though you have been tempted to shut down, you remain open. That is the greatest proof of your divine design. A normal heart would have grown bitter by now. A common soul would have hardened. But you still care. You still forgive. You still believe in the beauty of people. And that makes you unstoppable. You need to understand, this is not weakness. It is authority. Because only those who have been refined in fire can carry love that does not shatter under pressure. Only those who have walked through abandonment can become a refuge for the abandoned. Only those who have tasted despair can bring hope to the hopeless. What once felt like breaking was actually training. What once felt like devastation was preparation. And now, your heart is not fragile. It is indestructible. So from this moment on, never again despise your depth. Never again apologize for caring too much. Never again shrink back because the world cannot understand you. You are not here to be understood by everyone. You are here to be faithful to the one who designed you. Your love is not ordinary. It is eternal. And every time you release it, whether in a word, a touch, a prayer, or even in silent presence, heaven itself moves through you. Chosen one, embrace this truth. Your love is prophecy. It declares to a broken world, there is hope, there is worth, there is something more than pain. And though you may not always see the fruit, the seeds you plant are eternal. Every act of mercy echoes in the heavens. Every moment of compassion alters destinies you may never witness with your eyes. This is the divine design of your heart. This is why you feel the way you do. This is why you could never fit in with shallow patterns. You were not built to blend. You were built to build, and in that building, you reveal the very heart of God. Now that you understand your heart was designed with divine intention, we must step deeper into what that design actually accomplishes. Because your love is not just a feeling, it is a structure. It is not just an emotion. It is an architecture built to last beyond fleeting passion or temporary attraction. And this architecture is what makes you a bridge between heaven and earth. Let me explain. Feelings come and go. They rise and fall like the tides, unpredictable, sometimes overwhelming, sometimes absent. Most people build their relationships and connections on this unstable ground. They fall in love when emotions are high, and they fall out of love when emotions fade. They cling to others when they feel seen, and they let go when the thrill wears off. And so the world has reduced love to a cycle of beginnings and endings, always unstable, always conditional. But you, chosen one, are not wired this way. The love you carry is not subject to the weather of emotions. It is rooted in foundation, vision, and endurance. You were not made to chase temporary highs. You were made to build legacies. Your heart does not just desire connection, it creates it. It does not just seek intimacy, it nurtures it until it becomes unshakable. This is why you often feel restless in shallow bonds. It is why temporary affection never satisfies you. Your spirit knows that what you were designed to build cannot be rushed, cannot be reduced to surface-level attraction. Think of a house. Anyone can throw together a shelter out of wood and nails. It may stand for a time, but when storms come, it crumbles. But an architect does not build for the moment. An architect builds with vision. They lay foundations deep into the ground, calculate the weight the structure must carry, and design with the future in mind. That is what your love does. It lays foundations where others only scratch the surface. It envisions the future where others live only for the present. It creates bonds that can withstand storms because they are rooted not in fleeting passion, but in eternal purpose. And this is why your presence feels different. Because when you love someone, you are not only embracing them emotionally, you are building something around them spiritually. Your words become beams of strength. Your patience becomes walls of protection. Your mercy becomes a roof of covering. People often do not realize it, but when they are with you, they are standing inside a structure of love that shields them from despair, loneliness, and fear. You are an architect of atmospheres. But here's the mystery. You are not building alone. Every time you love with this kind of vision, you are joining heaven in construction. Your heart becomes a bridge, a living intersection where divine love flows into human experience. Through you, people catch glimpses of what eternity feels like. That is why they feel peace when you are near. That is why they feel safe, seen, or valued in your presence. They may not have the language for it, but what they are experiencing is heaven breaking through the veil of earth, through you. Chosen one, understand how sacred this is. When you hold someone in compassion, you are not just soothing them, you are releasing currents of divine energy. When you forgive, you are not just letting go of pain, you are planting eternal seeds in their spirit. When you encourage, you are not simply offering words, you are opening a window where light pours in. Every act of your love is a brick in the architecture of heaven on earth. And this is why your love cannot be measured in ordinary terms. It is not about how often you say, "I love you," or how dramatic your emotions feel. It is about what your presence builds. Some people leave ruins wherever they go, hearts scattered, trust broken, hope destroyed. But you leave foundations. People may walk away from you not fully understanding why they feel lighter, clearer, or stronger, but it is because they have touched the structure you built, and that structure does not crumble even when you are gone. Yet this also means your calling is weighty, because an architect must be patient. They cannot rush, they cannot settle for shortcuts, and neither can you. Your heart will always resist fast love, shallow connection, or counterfeit intimacy, because you know instinctively it won't last. You were not created to spend your energy building what collapses. You were created to invest in what endures. So yes, your love feels different. It feels heavier, more intentional, sometimes even exhausting. But that is because you are building bridges, not moments. You are carrying the responsibility of laying foundations that others will one day stand on. That is why you cannot simply love and walk away without caring. That is why your heart aches when others treat relationships as disposable. Because deep inside, you know, love was never meant to be disposable. It was meant to be eternal. Chosen one, do not underestimate what you carry. You are not just a kind person. You are not just compassionate. You are not just loyal. You are an architect of heaven's design, a builder of unshakable bonds, a bridge where the eternal flows into the present. And the world desperately needs the kind of structures you create, even if it doesn't always recognize it. So walk boldly in this identity. When others call you too much, remember, architects always seem excessive to those who build nothing. When others mock your patience, remember, builders always look slow to those who only chase speed. And when you feel weary, remember, your architecture is eternal. Every brick of love you lay is recorded in heaven. Nothing is wasted. This is why you are here, to love as a builder, to stand as a bridge, to reveal through the way you love that heaven is not far away. It is here, pulsing through you, waiting to be revealed in every word, every act, every embrace. Chosen one, now that you understand your love is not ordinary but architectural, eternal, and heaven-designed, you must also understand the cost of carrying such a gift. Because every divine assignment comes with a price, and the love you carry is no exception. The very thing that makes your heart so rare is also what makes it a target. The same design that allows you to see gold in broken people also exposes you to pain others never feel, and the enemy knows it. You see, the adversary cannot create. He has no power to build something pure, but what he does is corrupt what God has already made. And if he cannot stop you from loving, he will try to twist it. He will try to convince you that your tenderness is weakness, that your compassion is liability, that your mercy is foolishness. He will whisper lies in your ear, telling you that people are only using you, that no one will ever value the way you love, that your heart is a doorway for pain and nothing more. And here is the truth. Those lies are not random, they are strategies. Because if the enemy can make you shut down, if he can push you into building walls around your heart, then he has succeeded in silencing the very gift God placed in you for this generation. You are dangerous to darkness, because your love exposes lies, heals wounds, and brings restoration where there was once despair. And so the enemy wages war against your design. Think back to your own life. How many times have you poured out love only to be betrayed? How many times have you stayed loyal when others abandoned you? How many times have you forgiven only to be wounded again? And after each wound, didn't you feel the temptation to stop, to harden, to say never again? That is the battle, the pressure to corrupt your purity, to turn your love into bitterness. Because the enemy knows a bitter chosen one is no longer a threat. But chosen one, you must remember this. Your pain is not proof that your love is misplaced. Your pain is proof that your love is powerful. The greater the warfare, the greater the anointing it is trying to silence. Every betrayal you endured was not wasted. It was training. Every heartbreak was chiseling away what was shallow, refining what was eternal. Every moment of loneliness was an invitation to return to the one who is the source of your love. Yes, the cost is heavy. To carry this kind of heart means you will often feel alone. You will often feel like no one understands the depth of what you give. You will often be taken for granted because the world has no language for unconditional love. But this isolation is not abandonment, it is refinement. God is teaching you to guard your design, to protect what is sacred, and to recognize that not every soul can carry the weight of your heart. And so part of the price of divine love is discernment. You must learn who can be entrusted with your depth. Not everyone is meant to receive you fully, and that is not rejection. It is protection. Some people were never meant to hold what you carry, and giving it to them only leaves you wounded. You must learn to let God guide you, to let His Spirit whisper, pour here, but not there. Invest here, but not everywhere. Your heart is too precious to be scattered carelessly. This is where wisdom meets love. True divine love does not mean giving blindly until you are empty. It means partnering with heaven in how you love. It means recognizing that your mercy is not just emotion, it is assignment. And every assignment must be stewarded. When you carry love as rare as yours, you must protect it like a treasure, because the enemy will send counterfeits disguised as worthy recipients, hoping to drain you, distract you, or destroy your faith in your own gift. But here is the promise. For every time you've been wounded, heaven has been watching. For every tear you've shed in secret, heaven has been recording, and not 1 ounce of love you've poured has been wasted. Even when people mishandled it, even when they walked away, even when they trampled on what you gave, the seed of your love still carried eternal weight. And eternity never forgets. So yes, the price is real. Yes, the cost is heavy. But do not despise it, because what you carry is not common, it is holy. And holiness is always costly. The world may never fully understand the price you've paid to remain soft in a world that tried to harden you, but heaven knows. Heaven honors it, and heaven will multiply it, so guard your design. Do not let bitterness steal it. Do not let cynicism choke it. Do not let the wounds of yesterday dictate the way you love tomorrow. Your tenderness is not weakness, it is warfare. Your mercy is not naivety, it is strategy. Your compassion is not foolishness, it is fire. And every time you choose to love again, even after being wounded, you declare to darkness, you did not win. I am still here, and I will not stop loving. By now you know your love is not ordinary. You understand it was written into your soul, designed as architecture, and protected through battles that tried to silence it. But to fully grasp the depth of what you carry, you must see the role of pain. Because as much as we try to escape it, pain has been the furnace in which your love was forged. Without fire, there is no refinement. Without storms, there is no strength. Without scars, there is no authority. Think back to your life. Can you remember the betrayals that left you shattered? The moments when those you trusted most turned away? The seasons when loneliness felt like a heavy blanket, suffocating your spirit? At the time, it seemed like ruin. It felt like the breaking of your very soul. But what you could not see then is that each strike of suffering was shaping you into who you are now. What once felt like destruction was actually construction. Every heartbreak carved out space inside you, space that would one day hold compassion too deep for words. Every abandonment hollowed you out so heaven could fill you with endurance. Every tear watered the soil where seeds of mercy were planted. You thought you were being emptied, but in truth, you were being expanded. The fire that threatened to consume you became the very flame that refined you. And here lies the paradox. The gentlest hearts are often those who have walked through the fiercest storms. The ones who seem to carry unshakable calm are often those who once screamed in silence when no one came to rescue them. The reason you can recognize pain so quickly in others is because you learn to read its language in your own life. You know the weight of unspoken words because you carried them. You know the ache behind a smile because you wore it. And that recognition is not weakness, it is authority. Chosen one, understand this. God never wastes pain. The trials you endured were not random. The nights you thought would never end were not overlooked. Heaven was not blind to your tears. Each season of suffering was part of a training ground designed to prepare you for a love that could withstand anything. The scars you carry are not proof of failure. They are proof that you survived the fire and came out glowing with light that no darkness could extinguish. You see, love that has never suffered remains shallow. It breaks easily under pressure. It vanishes when tested. But love that has been through fire becomes unshakable. It no longer depends on circumstances, emotions, or reciprocity. It stands, it covers, it endures. And that is the kind of love you now carry. The kind that terrifies darkness because it cannot be silenced. Think about it. When you walk into someone's storm, you don't panic. You don't run. Why? Because you have been there. You know what? It's like to feel the ground collapsing. You know what it's like to question if hope will ever return. And because you remember, you now become a refuge. You can hold others steady when their world is shaking because you once had to hold yourself steady when no one else was there. This is authority, born not from theory, but from survival. And it goes deeper still. The very places you were broken are now the very places you carry healing. The same rejection that once hollowed you out now gives you the ability to embrace others fully. The same betrayal that scarred you now gives you discernment to protect others. The same loneliness that crushed you now makes you a safe presence for those who feel invisible. Your greatest pain became your greatest ministry. This is why the enemy fought so hard to destroy you in those seasons. He saw what you could not see, that the fire meant to break you would actually refine you into a weapon of love. He hoped you would grow bitter, cynical, hard. But you didn't. You emerged tender, merciful, and unshakable. And that is what makes you dangerous. Because a heart that has been through fire yet still loves cannot be manipulated. It cannot be silenced. It cannot be stopped. Chosen one, I want you to pause here and truly let this sink in. Your scars are not shameful. They are sacred. They are the maps of your survival, the evidence of heaven's hand on your life. Each one tells a story, not of defeat, but of transformation. Each one whispers, you are still here. You are stronger. You are chosen. So do not despise your past. Do not hide your scars. Do not wish away the seasons of pain. They were your training ground. They forged in you a love this world cannot comprehend. A love that is fierce, yet gentle. A love that is unshakable, yet tender. A love that mirrors the divine. And here is the beautiful truth. The very storms that almost drowned you are now the reason others will find safe harbor in you. The very darkness that tried to bury you has turned you into a torchbearer for others. The very valleys that felt endless have now made you a guide for those still wandering. You are living proof that pain does not have the final word. Purpose does. This is the fire of pain. This is the forge of love. And this is why you now carry something rare, something unbreakable, something eternal. What once was agony has become authority. What once was loss has become legacy. And the world will never be the same because of it. Chosen one, now that you see how pain has been the forge of your love, we must step into one of the most mysterious and powerful truths about your journey. You have not been prepared only for yourself. All of the endurance, the compassion, the scars turned into wisdom, these were not meant to exist in isolation. Heaven has been shaping you for connection. Not shallow connection, not fleeting romance, not the temporary comfort the world chases, but a sacred union designed before time began. Somewhere, even now, there is another soul walking their own path of fire. They too have known loneliness. They too have carried scars that became wisdom. They too have been emptied and refined in silence. And though you may not know their name, though you may not yet recognize their face, their story has been unfolding in parallel with yours. Heaven has been writing two chapters that are destined to merge into one, not for convenience, not for survival, but for kingdom purpose. This is why ordinary love has never satisfied you. This is why shallow attraction feels empty to your spirit. This is why you've been restless in relationships that looked good on the surface but lacked eternal depth. Deep inside, your soul knows what it is waiting for. It is waiting for resonance, for recognition, for that holy familiarity that cannot be faked. You are not being too picky. You are not too demanding. You are aligned with heaven's standard, and heaven will not let you settle for less. Imagine it. A love that does not drain but multiplies. A bond where your scars are not hidden, but honored. A connection that sharpens your gifts instead of silencing them. When two chosen ones meet, their union is not just emotional, it is strategic. It becomes a living sermon, a testimony that heaven still writes stories worth waiting for. Scripture says one can put 1,000 to flight, but two can put 10,000 to flight. This is not just a verse, it is a spiritual law. When two refined souls stand together, their authority multiplies, their prayers intensify, their impact accelerates. And perhaps this is why you have been kept apart until now. Because heaven will not allow this meeting until both vessels are ready, until both hearts are free from counterfeits, healed from old wounds, and strong enough to carry the weight of destiny together. Because once the convergence happens, the acceleration will be unstoppable. This sacred union will not look like what the world calls love. It will not be based on temporary chemistry, fragile emotions, or shallow compatibility. It will be rooted in purpose. You will not recognize this person by charm, appearance, or even timing. You will recognize them by spirit. Something in you will simply know. This is alignment. Conversations will feel like remembering, not discovering. Silence will feel like worship. Every glance will carry the weight of eternity. But chosen one, I must warn you, such unions are always tested. The enemy fears them because united hearts are weapons. You will face pressure, misunderstandings, even storms. But forged love does not shatter, it strengthens. Every challenge will only deepen the bond because it is not built on sand, but on stone. And the world will notice. People will see the way you love each other and feel hope again. They will sense restoration is possible. They will believe in lasting love because they witness it in you. Your union will be more than companionship. It will be prophecy in motion. This is the promise. You were not refined only for yourself. You were refined so that when heaven joins you with the one who has been prepared alongside you, your love will not just comfort, it will activate. It will awaken dormant callings in each other. It will amplify courage. It will extend light into places neither of you could reach alone. Together you will be more than partners. You will be co-laborers in destiny. So if you feel the ache of waiting, if you wonder why love has seemed delayed, remember, the delay is protection. Every closed door was preservation. Every season of loneliness was preparation. Heaven is guarding your heart until the right alignment arrives. And when it does, you will not have to chase it. It will meet you on the path of purpose you are already walking. Chosen one, hold fast. Protect your standards. Guard your purity. Keep building your foundation. Because when the convergence comes, it will not just change your life. It will shift atmospheres. It will alter destinies. It will reveal to the world what it looks like when heaven writes the script of love. Chosen one, we have walked together through a long journey. We began by uncovering the sacred design of your heart, the way heaven inscribed love into your very soul before you were born. We saw how your love is not fleeting emotion but divine architecture, a bridge between heaven and earth. We confronted the cost of carrying such a gift, the scars that taught you discernment, the betrayals that refined your compassion. We stepped into the fire that forged you, transforming pain into authority, weakness into wisdom, and wounds into wells of healing. And finally, we looked toward the promise of a sacred union, the convergence of two refined hearts into one unstoppable force. But as we close, I need to remind you of something essential. Not every love that presents itself is heaven's design. Some are counterfeits, beautifully packaged distractions meant to drain your strength, dull your discernment, and delay your calling. The enemy cannot erase your destiny, but he will try to bury it under the weight of relationships that look divine on the surface but carry no eternal substance. This is why discernment must remain your shield. This is why you cannot measure love by emotions alone. True divine love will never leave you in constant confusion. It will never demand that you shrink to fit. It will never compromise your purpose. Instead, it will sharpen you, protect you, and propel you forward. And here is where everything comes together. The reason you had to endure waiting, the reason your path felt so lonely, the reason your heart has been refined in fire is because heaven is not preparing you for ordinary love. Heaven is preparing you for alignment. A love that multiplies your mission. A union that becomes a fortress in the spirit. A connection that preaches louder than any sermon, because it is living proof that heaven still writes stories worth waiting for. So what do you do now? You walk in the truth you have received. You guard your heart from counterfeits. You hold fast to your standards, not because you are hard to please, but because you are aligned with heaven's blueprint. And you trust that when the time is right, the promise will meet you on the path of purpose you are already walking. Chosen one, never again doubt the way you love. Never again apologize for the depth of your compassion. Never again believe the lie that you are too much. Your love is not weakness. It is strategy. It is not random. It is assignment. It is not just for you. It is for the world, for the generation that needs proof that heaven still speaks through human hearts. So rise. Embrace your scars as evidence of your refinement. Stand tall as the architect you were made to be. Guard your design as a sacred treasure. And when you love, love boldly, love fiercely, love prophetically. Because your love is not human, it is eternal. And eternity will never forget it. Before you leave, if this message has stirred something deep inside you, if you know this word was for you, I want you to take one simple but powerful step. Subscribe to this channel right now. Not just as a click, but as a declaration. I choose to walk in alignment with the design heaven placed in me. Let's build this community of chosen ones together, a tribe of hearts that love differently, live differently, and carry eternity in every breath. You are not alone. You are not misunderstood in heaven. You are not too much. You are perfectly designed. And your love, chosen one, is destiny in motion.